Welcome back to the channel. It's almost go time. Well, last day of prep. Hopefully we get some chop tonight, and then we're gonna lead right into it. So chopper's pretty much ready to go. I'd like to give it a bath, grease everything up. Just got to drain the oil on the 7520, check the lug nuts or wheel nuts and everything else like that. Got weight put on the 7320 with a block on the back. Got a block on the back of that. Switched out the seat to a sound guard seat, so even got it lettered up. Look at that, almost look professional. So Mac got a new to me steer tire, which was awesome. I got a spare of it too. So the one side was a little sketchy, this side was pretty new, so this should be ready to go. White truck, got new to me rears. It had 11R20s, 11R22s on them. So I found some 11 or some 24/5 tires, and these are like 3 years old. They've been worn, they were run, but they're not as sketchy as the 1990 tires that were on it. So because they were dry rotted and everything else. So these are like 3-year-old tires. They'll work awesome on the trailer. Floater tires are all on, so this should be ready to rock and roll. Even got some fronts, so went with some 12R 22/5s on the front, fixed that wheel seal and everything else that had been leaking. Had some air leaks and whatnot, so I could find 11R 22/5s for cheap, like used ones, but I really wanted that height so it would level it out some, since the rear tires sit pretty high now. So but that's where we're at right now as far as being ready. Got the crew coming later, so I'll introduce them either later tonight or tomorrow morning in the next video, but gonna get right after it. So I'm gonna get this moved out front. Just got to drain the hydraulic oil out of it since I put some cheap stuff in it, change the filters, get everything flushed out of that, check the wheels. I know this front right, I struggled to reach for it, one of the inside ones, when it was there, so I'm gonna have to do that, which isn't a big deal, but we'll go get this done. So I had to put a new connector for the lights. Ended up putting a relay up in here to run the side lights because I was burning it out, and I put a sound guard seat in it, so it's pretty slick. Got a lot more comfort than before. I figured out, made this slide back and forth, but I think my relay on the side is going out, or I snipped something, or something's unhooked, or I don't know. So I've had to jump it over there for the last like 4 starts, which is annoying, but we'll get it figured out. I don't have the time to really spend on trying to figure it out right now, so we'll do that. Little screwdriver. That's not good. Well, ended up figuring out the issue. This didn't want to start. I had been jumping it across, which yeah, ain't the best, well, it's not the worst thing. So I had everything apart, thinking something was bad up there. Started checking everything. Multimeters are amazing. But somebody put a voltage gauge in the cab and ran it up. And I guess that's going faulty because when I unhooked that, or when I jumped it across right from the starter to it, it wanted to run. So I bypassed that. That one's a pretty cheap one anyways. We'll have this winter when I finish up this cab. I'll do that up much nicer. Well, here we are. Got the filter out. Got 2 new filters. It only takes 1. It's always good to have a spare. So this got flushed out with diesel fluid because it was sitting in a million pieces. So you see the fluid's pretty nasty. It's got water in it and contaminants. So got that out. Got the drain out. Here's the screen, as you can see. That's not good for it. So good thing there's a screen, catches the big stuff, and then the filter catches the smaller stuff. If these start acting up and have minimal hydraulic, steering gets really funky. So it's not a bad thing. I just switch the filter every now and then, make sure it's clean, because this has been through a lot. Changed the fluid, checked all the tire bolts, greased it, cleaned the cab out, added Old Glory. So just mounted up, looking fresh. Pretty excited for this thing. I'm not gonna run this very much, but I do like running it. It takes a specific operator to run these. You can't just, it's no power shift. You just can't slam it in and call it good. So we'll step back, and that looks good. This is all ready to go. Got everything tuned up, tightened some things up. Richie Rainville told me what to do on some of this stuff. Gave it a bath. Just got to put inoculant in. But Legend just showed up, part of the team. Awesome Goku people.
A piece of the team.
A piece of the team. And he brought, look at that. Pretty badass. So we're gonna go chop some feed. Here we go. 7520 all done up. We're ready. 7320 is ready. I don't know. You're not blurry. We got Austin. He's gonna run the Mac for a little bit. White truck's ready. Got the rest of the crew either coming tonight or tomorrow morning. So we're gonna go bang out some anchors and get it done and keep going. So yeah, cruising along. Some pretty good corn here. Put the white truck on, cutting weird end rows, keeping it full. Can't really push it and GoPro at the same time. Get kind of lost in this stuff. Well, 5 loads into chopping, and this, I guess they call it a gearbox chain, broke off there. So for some reason only the front 2 are spinning. Must have wrapped itself up enough that it's still running. Back one's not. So it just binds everything up and throws it all over the front. Makes a mess. So we're gonna see about getting it apart. I do have a whole spare cutter housing, so we'll see. This is what I got going on. So transmission issues. This one here, we popped the one that failed. So there was a bearing in there that failed. This is the old one. We took it out because it was still good. Put it in this new one that newer one that I got. And the selector sprocket that goes in between forward and reverse that moves shattered itself because that was a weak point when it locked everything up. So it's better that it shattered that and not ruined everything. With that being said, I welded it back together. I know, not the best thing, but it's Labor Day weekend, so we ran for a few more hours, and then all of a sudden the head stopped working again. So I'm hoping that just failed on me, and I'll try calling a European dealership late tonight, see if they can get parts on their way here for tomorrow, or for Tuesday, I guess it would be. So, but we'll see.